When there are issues in a marriage, intimacy, sex, is the first thing that suffers. How can one have intimacy in spite of differences in a relationship? Well, in marriage, we're talking about marriage. The other time on Married but Living Single, we did talk about husbands, wives who have not shared their bed in many years. So today, we have Mrs. Pamela Udoka, clinical psychologist, relationship, marital, and sex therapist. She's a lead therapist in Family Wellness Psychological Center. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll see you after this time out. Please sit. You're welcome back. Pamela, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
For coming here on very short notice.
Thank you.
A couple of months back, I did do something on Married but Living Single. That's people who are married but they are living single. Okay. Husbands and wives have not shared their beds in a long time, and husband has not tasted wife's food in many, many years. They're just putting up an act. And you find out that the first thing that suffers in that kind of relationship is sex, intimacy. It flies out of the window. You've had cases of women who painkillers would have finished in the market for constant, I have headache. There's a story I heard where during the day, the husband gave the wife an analgesic. And the wife said, why are you giving it to me? I don't have headache. And the husband says, when he comes late at night, don't say you have headache. So today we're going to be talking about intimacy, how the intimacy can be sustained in a marriage. In spite of, even when there are issues. What is intimacy in marriage? Let's start from there.
Well, like I wanted to say, intimacy is different from sex. Anybody can have sex.
Yes.
There are people who are paid to have sex.
Yes.
But when it comes to intimacy in marriage,
yes,
the sexual intercourse itself,
yes,
it's intimacy because it's there's an emotional attachment. Yes. The mind, the body, the spirit, everything is involved in it. You know, you feel this person is your person, my partner for life, and you want a long-term relationship with this person. So when there are issues, there is hurt, there is pain, there is anger, there is mistrust, everything, just throws your emotions all over the place. And then when you are not happy with that person, it's all in the mind. Your hormones will not react. Your physical body will not react. The man will not have or even have an erection or sustain an erection. Or even when he does have one, he will just be thrusting for a long time because his mind is not there. So he's not getting to that orgasmic stage in his mind. He's just all motion, okay? Even the lady might not even enjoy it because she will be in pain. She's not well lubricated. Her mind is not there. So it's the first thing because you don't want to share your body with anybody you are angry with. You can share any other thing. You can make food, put it in the warmer, you take. I mean, you are sharing from the warmer. He comes and dishes his own and takes. You are sharing food. But for you to have sexual intimacy, sexual intercourse, both of you must be present physically. So you cannot share that.
Physically, not physically as in physical, but your mind.
Your mind, everything, yes, in tune, must be there. So it's not that, it's not something you can say, okay, just take, let me just, you'll be hurting yourself because you will not be lubricated properly to enjoy what you're doing.
Why is it not possible? Even though we have issues, when I'm in this mood, I want what I want. We have to agree on this one.
Okay. Let's get one thing clear. There's something we call make-up sex. That is, you have quarreled, you have fought, you have everything, and then that's one of the sweetest kind of sex, sexual intercourse, because you're making up. That is there. And everything, the sexual response cycle, everything about sexual will happen. But when you are angry, that you have tuned off, it's the mind. The mind turns off. Your hormones will not react. your hormones will not flow because you need those hormones, those sexual hormones to be part of what you're doing. But when they've like taken a walk, you're on your own. So you cannot have that kind of discussion.
Yes. Sometimes it's not just that there's an issue of you hurt me and I'm hurt, and because of that I'm not. Some women have insecurities about their bodies after having children.
Yeah.
And they feel that I'm no longer the way I used to be after 4 or 5 children. I can no longer take off my clothes, even if in front of the person who put me through being like this.
Okay.
Because he saw you at a point in your life when you were... So now that you're in this position, do you think it's a good excuse?
Well, we're talking about libido now. The lady loses libido because of that image. She's not sure she's pretty enough to present herself to the man. But this is a personal issue now. That lady now has lost confidence in her looks. She has developed low self-esteem. So she needs to build that. The man needs to tell her that you are still beautiful the way you are. You know, he needs to help her with her self-confidence and her self-esteem because she has lost it. Because she believes that, okay, she has breastfed, her breasts are no longer the way they used to be. It can't be because you have just breastfed babies or you have breastfed children. So the man has to tell her that despite how you look now, I still love you. I still admire you, okay? So all the traces of motherhood, they just make you look more beautiful. Then the lady will feel that, okay, yes, I can still present myself to him despite the way I look now. And she might still be beautiful. It's just that body image that she has in her mind that is making her lose her libido. So if the man talks to her, it will help.
Okay, hold that thought. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. You're welcome back if you're just joining us. We are talking about why intimacy is the first thing that flies out of the window when there's issue between husband and wife. What advice as a sex therapist, what would you say to women, men, on this issue of losing intimacy? Because in the process of losing intimacy, you're practically pushing your partner away. And it goes both ways.
There's something called responsiveness in relationship. When you're responsive, it means that you value the other person. The person's problem is your problem. You care about the person's well-being. You care about the person's emotional state. You worry if the person is not doing well. And the other person you are feeling that way for also feels valued in that relationship. It's a two-way thing. It's reciprocal because the way I'm feeling about you, you're feeling that way about me. Now, it doesn't just begin and end in the bedroom. This relationship starts from outside. It just continues in the bedroom. You don't just wait all day and then when it's 9 p.m., that's when you say, hello, how are you? No, what happens to how are you? How is your day going? Little text messages. Did you submit that proposal? How is your boss? Or if you are doing your own private business, did you make any sales today? Such communication shows that you are interested in that person's well-being outside of the bedroom. So when you're not going to the bedroom,
it's just a continuation.
It's just a continuation. Everything is easy. It's not when you start, that's not when you start trying to open the door. The doors, the nuts, everything has been greased all day. So in the evening, it's just, hello. Hi, it's easy. But we leave these things till night. And then she has had a hectic day, and you have to come and open. No, it won't work. But no matter how hectic her day has been, or his day has been, when you now enter the bedroom because you have been in each other's space all day, when you now come into the bedroom, everything is like, okay.
What would you say about women who call their husbands daddy and men who call their wives mommy?
Well, this is because of the children. You want your children to call your husband daddy and you call your
wife
mommy. I think that's how all this mommy-daddy issue started. But some people now take it a whole notch. When you now say daddy, it's like, why are you calling him daddy? Why not baby? Why not some sweet names? Because the daddy becomes so formal that it bridges that intimacy gap. It's like daddy to the children. You're not daddy to me. I mean, your husband can be your father, your friend, your everything. But when it comes to intimacy, I think daddy is too strong a word. You just create the relationship parameters. Okay, this daddy is for the children. I'm not part of the equation anymore. I'm not in that picture.
Or maybe I'm just staying here because of the children.
Because of the children. So there's nothing there. Okay, daddy. But other endearing names. So it keeps the relationship fires burning when you have such endearing names for your partner. Not the formal mommy or mama so or papa so. No.
Mama Pamela.
Mama Pamela. Oh, God, beat your bum becoming. It's not that.
Marriage, the way we see it, I mean, I'm talking vis-a-vis intimacy.
Okay.
You find out that couples rarely show affection outside. A child grows up. He or she, the child probably has never seen the mom or the dad kissing, hugging. And they grow up, they've just seen a situation where all the father, the mom does is, I want to buy food, things for school for the children. So it basically revolves around meeting a need, provision.
You're right.
Where is the place of intimacy in marriage?
You see, the way we were brought up, the way we were nurtured, or the culture. In fact, in some parts of Nigeria, the men have their own abode separated from the women. And maybe if it's a polygamous family, God help you, except it's your turn before you move over to that side. So the children don't get to see what you're talking about. Some parents who are even in monogamous relationships don't even do that. They just focus on provision, like you have said. But they don't realize that these things affect the children in the next relationship.
Yes.
Because you find out that even in practice, when you're taking a clinical history, you find out that what is causing the sexual dissatisfaction in the marriage is the fact that maybe one of the partners has been used to express a family that expresses love, and the other one was never shown affection
growing up.
Yeah,
so they don't really know what it is.
They don't understand it.
They don't know it. You have to know it to understand it.
So by the time you now want to show it, they're like, what's that?
In public.
You know, in fact, it's a major issue. You want to hold your... So you see a couple sit in front of me, and that's one of the things causing issue, apart from, but that is, to others might be significant, but it's a major issue. Your husband wants to kiss you in public, you are like, don't touch me. Who are you hiding from? Who do you not want to see him holding you? He calls you in the office, you can't say, hello, darling, but when you are alone, you can respond like that. Why don't you want people to know that you are intimate with this man, or that you love him, or you must show affection in public? Why? It's not that you must go maybe overtly expressing yourself so people start staring, but no, a little peck here, a little hug.
A touch,
look. Yes, a look.
A smile.
A smile. People will know that, oh, these people are in love. And then the children will say, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. So they will transmit that into their own relationship too. But by the time you are now all locked up and all this pious behavior, it doesn't help intimacy. There's always a bridge. Because you must not wait for, 9 p.m., night, put off the lights, the blinds are down, everything, before you now touch each other. And it becomes a routine that, after a while, becomes boring. And relationship and intimacy goes down the drain because there's no fire, there's nothing to spice it up. There's nothing to look forward to. There's no surprise. There's nothing like, he comes back home and, he's coming to give me a peck in the kitchen or something. No, or maybe he's in the kitchen, I'm coming. What are you doing? He's trying to make something for you and you come and maybe hold him.
And especially when they are children, a lot of people...
They don't do that. But such things, the children know that, that's mommy and daddy. doing that. So those are our parents. So which when we get to that age too, when we get to an adult stage in our lives, we can also do that. We can also express such love. But we don't do. That's why we have all these domestic violence issues going around, because you can't give what you don't have.
Know, what you don't know.
Yes.
Because you don't even know it.
Yes.
You don't have it. So what advice would you give to women, men? Because this thing, it goes both ways.
Yes.
If the woman came from a family where there was affection, she knows what affection is. She expects it, and she knows how to give it. If a man came from home where there's affection is. So what do you say to a man out there, a woman out there? Don't respond to that. You will when we come back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, we are talking about intimacy in marriage. So, what do you say if a woman, unfortunately, finds herself saddled with a husband who gives the stiff upper lips, who doesn't know how to show affection, who doesn't even want to be shown affection? And if you marry a wife who is like that?
It's one thing to know the background of your spouse. If you understand the background, that's why in practice we take clinical history. You know the background of your spouse. When you know the background and how that person was brought up, or the kind of whom the person came from, then you will understand what is going on. Otherwise, you will just be quarreling. If you know that he grew up in a home that they did not show affection, I mean, either partners now, then you can communicate, you can discuss. You can discuss how you want your own relationship to be. Because each relationship is unique. Individual differences apply. So you now discuss, how do we want our own relationship to be? Do you want it to be like maybe our parents, or do you want us to now have our own relationship goals? How do we want it to be? So you don't just expect somebody who does not understand or does not even know what affection is to start giving it. Step by step. Okay, you don't want me to hold you, kiss you in public. Can I at least hold your hand?
And if he says no?
It depends on how you say it. I remember growing up, my father used to say, you can still be smiling and cut somebody with a knife. It will still draw blood. Do you understand?
Yes.
In the sense that if the person says no, you can still be smiling and still be appealing, because it's not something that if she says no, you leave the relationship and everything just falls apart. No, that's why even during therapy sessions, it's stage by stage. We take one step at a time. Don't say no. Don't hold the person's hand in public. Start indoors. Are you comfortable with this? Because it's communication. Are you comfortable with this? Can I do this to you outside? Let's take it out. Because if you are not communicating properly, remember I said properly, you can be talking to somebody and not communicating. If you're not communicating properly, if you don't do it well inside the house, you can't take it outside. You can't go outside and start expressing intimacy, maybe on social media, take pictures, and everybody thinks it's
But that's what.
Yes, but what happens in the home? You want to hold his hand, you want to hold her hand, she says no. She's not used to it. You have to start somewhere. I have to hold your hand. I need to hold your hand. Let her feel that you need, yes, it's a need. She will feel, oh, this, needs me, he loves me. Or maybe if she doesn't hold my hand, she will feel something. Let her hold me. So when you hold each other, from holding, you can go to hugging, you can give me a peck, maybe when he comes back from work or when she comes back, you give a peck. You must build these things up. There's no marriage that is made in heaven. There's no marriage that it is worked at. The couple involved, they work at it. So you don't just leave everything to chance and say, okay, he loves me, I love. No. You must fan those embers of love. You must be responsive in relationship. You must do things that make the other person expect that, oh, this person loves me, this person needs me. Because you are there for the long haul. You are not there, okay, after 5 years, okay, we are here. Okay, 3 years, 6 months. In the next 5 years, we are going to separate. No, it's a long-term thing. So you have to work at it. If you have issues you cannot handle, or you think you need professional help, seek professional help. Let them talk you through the process. Do assessment for your date. Something called marital assessment. What is the issue? Sometimes there will be relationship issues, even the partners will not know what the issue is. They won't know what is going on. The only thing they will know is that the sexual intimacy has gone down the drain. And then, funny enough, when you're asking the woman, you say, I beg, is the man that's worrying about that? other things are worrying me. But two of you are in the marriage. So if other things are worrying you that are not worrying him, something is worrying him that's not worrying you, means something is worrying two of you. Why not sit down at the table with a professional and let these things be ironed out? So two of you will now come back together and have this intimacy that is part of the marriage. It's not, people say, is it only sex? But if the sexual satisfaction is not there, if the whole essence of the intimacy is eroded. Because you can't be with me in the morning, be with me in the afternoon, be with me in the evening, and then in the night, we are not there. Because we are just existing. We are not living together.
And that's basically how a lot of marriages are.
Yeah, and that's why people like us are available. We can help sort out things that you imagine, you wouldn't imagine, or you would think, so that's possible. I remember somebody asking me, well, I think I need to live with it. After all, I didn't expect it. So I said, okay, you don't expect malaria, but you treat malaria. So why leave marital conflicts to chance when it can be treated? She was like, really? I said, yes. Okay? But when we get the intimacy back in the marriage, when we get the relationship right, the home will be solid.
Don't you think that resentment creeps in somewhere along the line?
Why do you allow resentment to creep in? Even if it has crept in, you find out why. Why do I resent this man now? Do I not trust him anymore? Do I not respect him anymore?
Vice versa, not just me.
The two of them, you
Yes.
know, or does he not respect me, or do I not respect her? Why do I resent? You must ask those questions and try and get answers. It's those answers that will give you the solution to resolving the conflict. But somebody you promise to love. I mean, if you have taken marriage vows, somebody say, till death do us part. I love you, you know, all those ceremonies. So what has crept in? What has crept in so much so that there will be separation thoughts, there will be divorce thoughts in the marriage? So discuss it. Take each aspect of the marriage. Are you letting third parties take decisions for you? How are you communicating? If she's earning more than you, how are you taking it? If he is not responding to your touch, how are you taking it? How are you trying to sort out those issues? You have to work at each aspect of the marriage to bring that intimacy.
What is if it's violence, domestic violence?
Once domestic violence creeps into a marriage, there's a major issue. Take off the victim, of course, would be given therapy, but the perpetrator himself has personality issues, has a lot of issues going on. So that one has therapy, of course, because must assess what is going on. It might be taking off the stress of the job on her. Might have some business wrongdoings, or maybe some he didn't make profit, some loss in his business. Taking it on. There are a lot of things. You must assess those things. But first of all, when there's violence involved, please let them stay apart. Let them stay apart, because anything can happen.
With all this we have discussed, what is the role of intimacy in keeping a strong union?
It cannot be overemphasized. It cannot be overemphasized. Any couple, any marriage that has sexual dissatisfaction in it has marital conflict. And you can quote me.
What if they say that they are friends? We are friends. I mean, you see them and you know that they are friends. It's just this aspect. And maybe two of them couldn't be bothered about that aspect.
No, if two of them couldn't be bothered, I mean, one of them is just saying, okay, she is good in every other thing, or he's good in every other thing, but this aspect is not good. Let me manage it like that. That's what's happening. So not that,
Is that good or bad?
It's bad, because they are enduring what they should be enjoying. Why endure a sexual relationship when you can enjoy, when you can enjoy it? You are having dissatisfaction because you have issues in the phases of sexual response cycle. So when you have issues in either of those phases of the sexual response cycle, then you have a sexual dysfunction which can be handled.
What if there's resentment and maybe one party says to the other party, let's go for therapy, and the other party, oh, please, nothing.
Usually not, both of them don't agree. But I tell them, you don't come to my clinic alone when it's marital conflict, because I must do individual therapy for him, for her, and then do couples therapy for both of them. If it's sexual dissatisfaction, both of you are involved. What is causing sexual dissatisfaction? The man or the woman cannot have sexual intercourse with him or herself alone. So it's both of you. So there must be an issue that needs to be resolved. Do you understand? So that resentment that is creeping in, there must be something causing the resentment.
So what are the ingredients of keeping a good, strong union?
Oh, like I said, responsiveness. You must show care for the other person. If you care about somebody, you check up on that person. You will ask after that person. You will care about the person's welfare. You will care about the person's well-being. And once somebody is showing such interest and care in you, in a relationship, you will feel valued. You will feel needed. You will feel that you are bringing something to the table. You will feel that you are adding value to that relationship. And once those little perks, holding hands, loving, talking to each other, communicating properly, then you can unburden yourselves to the other partner. This is what I'm going through. The person will show empathy, the person will show care and love. That builds intimacy. It's long term. You don't just wake up one morning and then sever that. You must continue to grow it because there's always that surprise element. What will happen today? What message will he send to me today? What will she tell me today? Such things make the relationship more intimate and long-lasting.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Pamela.
You're welcome.
We'll leave it here for now.
Thank you.
You know, there are going to be a lot of fallouts from this.
Yes, of course.
And I'll invite you to come back and handle those fallouts.
No problem. I'm available.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome,
Thank you.
Auntie Edie.
Don't
Thank
go
you.
anywhere. We'll be right back. Today, a lot of marriages are in name only. And according to the psychologist, she says there's so much you can do to build a strong union. Talk about it. Sit down, find out exactly what the problem is. If you two cannot resolve it, there's always a sex therapist. Take it to God in prayer, but I do say to people, there's a God part and there's a man part. What you can do your part and let God do his part. But the role of intimacy in creating a strong union cannot be overemphasized. That's the way God created it. Until I come your way another time, you have a wonderful week ahead of you. Goodbye. God bless. See you again next week.